it's hard to even wrap your mind around just how much the Rocket League meta has changed in the past 2 years. This is primarily because Rocket League is a game of mechanics. So players are not only improving the mechanics that are already known, but also finding new mechanics that were otherwise unknown in the game. In this video, I'm counting down my picks for the 10 craziest mechanics in Rocket League that have been discovered so far. And hopefully in the next couple of years, we'll discover just as many mechanics. Before we get any further, I want to let you know that this video is actually sponsored by GAMERLINK. If you haven't checked this app out, you definitely should. It's completely free, it's super easy to download, and the interface on it is just so good. It's really well done. GAMERLINK is basically a looking for group app, so it literally links gamers together, hence the name GAMERLINK. So if you're sick of solo queuing, which I am honestly done solo queuing, I hate it. Anyways, if that is you, this is a great way to find players who are maybe at your skill level and have similar preferences. So I put a link to the app in the description below. If you haven't checked it out already, make sure to check that out. Alright, let's get into my picks for the 10 craziest Rocket League mechanics. Number 10, the half flip. I actually have a tutorial on this that I put in the description below, so if you want to check that out, that's right there for you. This mechanic has become such a part of high-level play, and even some lower-ranked players are half-flipping really well, that people have completely forgotten just how crazy it is and really how useful it is. I've put this on my list because I see it as one of the first in a bunch of consecutive mechanics that were discovered. In a lot of ways, this was the first highly technical, weird skill that maybe really didn't seem all that useful at first, but went on to basically change how the game is played. It's also one of those things that you just have to go into free play and grind it out. It's the epitome of one of those weird muscle memory mechanics that you just have to do a bunch of times. And it actually goes way beyond just turning your car around faster. High-level players use half flips to slow their car's momentum down on shots, and you can also use this on flicks as well. It has uses on the walls. It's really insane how useful half flipping is. So yeah, if you do want to learn more about how to do this, check out my video in the description below, or just search how to half flip on YouTube and you'll find a bunch of tutorials. Alright, number 9, the reverse ball carry. Let's just say that this skill is kind of high on the crazy side and low on the useful side. I think I've put this on my list mainly because it just seems so difficult. It's one of those things I just haven't taken the time to even really attempt, and honestly, I may never attempt it. Sadly, I can't even begin to explain how to do it. Basically, all of your controls are reversed, and I'm not sure whether you should use reverse cam or just the regular cam. Anyways, sometime when you have nothing to do and you're bored with the game, go give this one a try. Number 8, the stall. I sometimes do this accidentally. Like some of the other shots we're going to get to, this mechanic sort of breaks the normal rules of the physics of the game. Like the reverse ball carry, it's definitely one of those mechanics that has really limited usefulness in-game, but it does feel pretty cool. Number 7, the tornado spin. I remember the first time I saw someone do this. It was in the celebration after a game, and we were ranked somewhere around Diamond 1 at the time, and Fluffy and I had just gotten demolished, and one of the Smurfs, players, started doing this spin in his celebration, and it looked like the classic just Cook's Ear twist, but something weird was happening. It was like the front of his car was the axis and not the back. Now, I'd known about the tornado spin, and I'd seen Jazer's video explaining how to do it. I don't think I really understood the video when I watched it. Sometimes you're just not ready to learn a certain mechanic. Anyway, after seeing that, I decided I needed to learn how to do this, because it just was so cool looking. And after rebinding air roll right to a free button, I can now happily tornado spin like a total boss. Number 6, the tornado drift. This is actually a really recent mechanic that was just discovered, and I actually will have a video coming out on how to do this, so be on the lookout for that. So this isn't really the official name, but it's, I think, a better name than everything else I've seen so far. Really what you're doing is utilizing some of the same things that you use for the tornado spin. So yeah, check out my tutorial on this. It's definitely more fun to watch Justin do it than watch me, but yeah, this one's pretty crazy. Whoever discovered this probably needs to get a life, because I don't know how they found it. Number 5, the 180 Backflip Flick, or the Magnus Flick, as some people have called it. I'm not sure if Magnus invented this. I don't think he did, but he certainly popularized it, mainly because of the way it was first pulled off publicly.
Really rose in prominence in Season 2. Oh my word! Are you kidding me, Magnus? With the 180 Backflip Flick? Did he really just do this? Holy cow, Magnus. That is insane. The 180 Backflip Flick is...
Entire game modes have been created in honor of this mechanic.
Right now they're struggling to even get connection on the ball. I saw a 180 Backflip Flick on Reddit the other day, and it was Mitsunaris who was doing it. Very clean. Not quite as much of a boomer as the... Where's Magnus going? It's not quite as much of a boomer as Magnus's original one, though. Magnus is struggling here. He really cannot get the alignment right. Listeners, right, what are you doing? He's trying to get the alignment correct so that he can actually shoot.
I think there are some people out there who think that it actually creates more power behind the ball, which totally makes sense, right? The car clearly backflips faster than it front flips. This spin can't just be some unnecessary cool thing that we do. Jeez, why did this video get so snarky? Anyways, it's pretty self-explanatory really. You just set up for a flick, spin your car around, and then backflip. Pretty easy, right? Alright, number 4, the pinch shot. It happens to all of us every now and then. We get into a simple challenge in the midfield, and suddenly the ball is flying all over the field like a crazy rogue bludger.
You'll never catch me, Potter!
Mainly popularized by the legend himself, Cooksier97, this is one of those things that makes Rocket League really unique. Some have argued that the reason Cooksier can do this so easily is because he uses the Batmobile. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably it. Number 3, the flip reset. Let me just explain what's happening here for those of you who don't know. Anytime your car's wheels can leave a surface without you having to jump, you are then given a dodge that doesn't run out at the normal 1.5 second timer. So this can happen when you fall off the ceiling, maybe when a player bumps you into the air, or you fall off the inside of the goal, and there's a few more ways. But here I'm mainly focusing on flip reset goals where the player hits all 4 wheels on the ball and is then given that extra dodge. Though there are a few players really trying to pull these shots off even in high level matches, for the most part pros have yet to really implement this into their gameplay, which kind of makes sense. In 3s you rarely have enough time to do a shot like this, but I do think people felt the same way about ceiling shots just like 6 or 8 months ago, and that's definitely become a part of high level Rocket League. Number 2, the ceiling shot. Ceiling shots have actually been around in Rocket League for a long time. Jazer has been doing them for like about 2 years, but it wasn't until relatively recently that they truly became a significant part of the meta. Like the flip reset shots we were talking about earlier, ceiling shots are basically a way of keeping that dodge for whenever you want it. So, if you fancy, you can actually fly pretty far under the ball and actually dodge upwards, something that would otherwise be impossible. Ceiling shots are useful for basically every game mode. They're a great way of also creating angles that are otherwise impossible, and they're incredibly unpredictable. Alright, before I reveal my pick for the craziest Rocket League mechanic, let's look at a few honorable mentions.
And next level play, watch this, watch. Next level. See that?
Alright, my pick for the craziest Rocket League mechanic goes to the wave dash. At first, wave dashing was relatively simple. You fall to the ground and you use it once to give your car sort of an extra boost forwards. And it was really helpful if you were low on boost or you just wanted to move down the field quicker. But as players have gotten better at wave dashes and sort of experimented more with it, we've seen some pretty crazy things come out of this mechanic. Like, it's gotten to the point where I actually don't want all these new wave dashing things to become part of the meta, just because it looks so odd. But regardless, wave dashing is amazing, and again, like all these mechanics, you just kind of have to go in free play and work at it, and otherwise you really can't get used to it. Now, you may be asking yourself, how do I learn all of these ridiculous mechanics? Though it's true that you don't necessarily need to know all of these things to be good at Rocket League, the more that this game moves forwards, the more these mechanics have become standard. So that feeling you have of kind of being overwhelmed by all that there is to learn, that's actually a good thing. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you want to be good at this game, you have to do more than just play it. You need to go into free play and just try to hit 200 ceiling shots in a row. You need to spend 30 minutes on a double touch training playlist, just doing it over and over and over again. And you need to go watch those videos on how to do this stuff, and then try it for yourself. Now, the great thing is, every time you learn a new mechanic, you become more in tune with how the game is actually played. So you become more in tune with ball control and car control. All of these things get better, and it makes it so that the next mechanic won't be as hard to learn. Alright, I hope you guys like this one. Again, just a reminder, don't forget to check out that app, GAMERLINK, that I mentioned earlier. GAMERLINK is the best way to find fellow Rocket League players, hands down. Alright, I hope you guys like this one. See you next time. Peace out.